What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in a car mechanic simulator with me, the virtual mechanic, and today's project, the Duesenberg Mormon Meteor. Now, this is a retro car if I've ever seen one. This is a retro racer, which is a thing of beauty. I do absolutely love the fenders on this. They look incredible. There is meant to be an exhaust running through there, but it is missing. This is a classic car that has really got a lot of heritage. It is a race car, but this is officially the road version. There is a Salt Flats edition, I think, in the game, which is one I'm currently after trying to grab hold of, which is just going to have a beastier, much better engine than whatever I put in this one. Today, I am thinking about just restoring it back to its former glory, keeping everything as original as meant to be on there, probably including these wheels, because I do actually quite like them, although I may switch the rims out for a slightly different one, hoping to try and maybe match this. But we will see. Not 100% sure if we even can, but I am able to change the front end if I can't, so I may just go down that route. As for the engine today, we're not going to put too many performance parts on it. We're just going to restore it back to what it was before. Obviously, I'll put performance pistons and performance spark plugs in it and things like that. And probably, I mean, there isn't an exhaust, I don't think. Let's just double check. There is an exhaust. Okay, so I'll probably put performance exhaust on it as well, and probably a performance gearbox, just so I can change that ratio. But that'll be it, really. We're probably going to try and keep this the original colour that it is. I've searched many pictures of this, and they all seem to be that dusky sort of yellow colour. I don't know how you want to call it. I see it as a yellow, but that is what it is. Let's get started. Let's get this over to the car wash and get this one cleaned up. Here we are then at the car wash. Let's get this thing going. Let's make this as clean as we can. What colour is it under here? I couldn't seem to walk around. I missed my keys. Well, that is in exceedingly bad shape, to say the least. That is awful. I don't think I've seen a car quite this bad. What is its stats? Oh, I see. Oh, okay, that's bad. Yeah, that is probably one of the worst ones we've had so far. Oh, my God. Anyway, let's get what little interior this has cleaned. And get it back on the lift. And then we'll get this engine ripped out and start tearing this beast down. There really is quite a lot missing from the underside of this car. Let's just finish getting this drive shaft off, get the gearbox out, and then we will jump into removing that engine. Everything is in such bad condition. Every other bolt pretty much has been rusty and has needed this lovely oil going on it. I was going to say a brand name then, but I thought better of it. Let's get this car back on the ground. There was no oil pan, so I do not need that. But we will grab this crane and let's get what little of this engine is there ripped out. Out you come. There we go. You put away. And then let's just start stripping this thing down. I mean, I've got to get it back up in the air to get this suspension off. That's loud. So let's just jump straight into that and start taking this one apart. More rusty bolts. Off you come. What have we got under here? To be honest, it doesn't look like there's anything missing in the suspension here, or at least nothing's directly visible front or back. It doesn't really look like there's a lot missing here either, so that's good. So I'll just get cracking on with this. We'll get all of this torn down, and I'll meet you back by the car in a moment. I already have most things stripped on this underside here. I've only got a few bits left to go, but so far, not a single piece is in condition order. Is repairable. Everything on this car is absolutely in terrible condition. This is the worst car I have done to date. Well, not worst like that, but worst condition car I've done to date, including every third bolt has been rusty. I mean, it's taken me quite a while. Oh, God. Everything's taken me quite a while to get just to here. And I'm going to have to replace all of this. Not a single piece has been repairable as of yet. I'll get this finished, I'll get the rest of the car stripped down, and we'll see if anything is repairable. As you can see, absolutely nothing to strip in this engine bay. Completely empty. There we go. But let's just start taking apart this body, which, again, I doubt there is anything repairable in here. I don't even know what's body panels and what's not. What's that? Not body, not body. Oh, there we go. There's a fender there. There's not really... Oh, the door. Nice. There's not anything on this car. Is that interior actually in? No, that's not in. That just is what it is. That was the wrong button. I've just got the engine to strip down now, but as of yet, still absolutely nothing repairable. 13% is the highest quality. So I'm just going to have to scrap all of this and buy all new again. Let's go and see if there's anything on the engine that's going to be repairable, but I have already seen it, and there isn't much left on it, let alone much that's going to be repairable, if anything. Looks like there's absolutely nothing on the outside here. Let's get you spun around. Let's get these few bits off. I mean, I wouldn't repair these anyway. I would probably just replace these with performance parts, just because of where they sit in the engine. Oh my god. This is the worst state car I've ever had. That's it. That's the whole lot. And what was that? 6%. So no, absolutely nothing on this car is repairable in any way, shape or form. So I'm going to get in. I'm going to get what I think is everything bought, and I'll meet you back in a few moments. Okay, we have everything stripped but down on this Duesenberg to its bare frame, and look how bad a condition it is in. It is awful. So let's go and grab that welder. Let's get this sorted out. Hopefully, let's see how much this is going to be. 3,600. That's one of the more expensive ones, but there was a lot to do. That's tidied it up a little bit, and that is definitely not going to be the colour I want to keep this at all. It's nice, but it's not what I'm going for. Let's get that welder put away, and let's start getting this body all back together. Hopefully, I mean, I had to buy all new parts, so these are all going to be black in colour, which isn't the best, but it is what it is. Let me get all of these on, and I'll meet you back at the paint shop. Here she is then, the Duesenberg. This is about as close to the original colour I could find. I managed to sort of squeeze out of it. I have just got it in a solid colour. I have got this plate as well on it. This, out of a few searches, this is the only plate I could find for it. Just 10,000, although it did say 1935 Utah or something along those lines. But I think that might have been for the Salt Flats edition, which was the land speed record holder, the edition 1 and the edition 3. But this is the colour I have chosen. I am going to paint the engine to match. That's weird layout. Oh, it's the exhaust coming through. I am going to try and paint the engine to match this colour, just because I think that's what I would do if I ever got this car in real life. I'd just make it look like a proper show car. And the one thing I do not like is you don't really get much choice for seat colour. Now, red seats were what were predominantly in these when they were made, and I really wanted to put red seats in them, but the only choice you've got is the Pagani red seat, or the, is it the Nissan, or the, I can't remember which car it is, the other red seats, but they look ridiculous in it. I did try, stupidly. So I just went for the original seats, but I just wish you had a bit more seat colour options in the game. It would make it a lot cooler. Anyway, let's jump on, let's get the suspension on this car, and get this engine rebuilt. I haven't really done that much painting on the underside this time, just the suspension, just the red coils is all I've really painted. Everything else is a pretty stock, so let's just start getting it all on the car. Not anything fancy going on here. I'm just going to get through this. If I stop and chat to you at some point because I found something interesting, but probably I'll just see you at the engine bay. Underside completely finished. I did the red springs both on the front and the back there, as you can see. And if anyone was wondering, 28 rubber bushings in total, 20 large ones, 8 small ones is what it takes to complete this lovely rear end here. They are absolutely everywhere. 2 there, 2 there. There's 1 in that, 2 on the other side, another 1 on that. There's just rubber bushings everywhere on this car. Anyway, that's the underside complete. Let's move on and let's get the engine bay all sorted out. Let's get this car back on the ground. Run over here. Now, there isn't much in this engine bay. It is pretty bare, so I'm just going to jump in and get this finished. You've got the brake servo, power steering pump, a fuse box, a battery, and a radiator, and that is it. Now, for the rims on this one, I went for the Rim 20, as you can see there, with a lovely white wall tyre. They are both 18 inches, front and back. The fronts have a 145 width with a 60 profile, and the backs have a 155 width for the 60 profile, literally as wide as I could make them without them busting out that fender there, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked to make it a bit wider. This is going to be very hard to drive on the track with them tiny width tyres on there, but I think that looks absolutely incredible. I did take off the spare wheel front end, as replaced it with the one without it, just because the spare wheel didn't match this wheel here, and I wasn't happy about it. Also, I was going to paint these. I wanted to paint them red to match the red interior on the original car, but you couldn't get that. And then I was tempted with the yellow, but I thought it was a little too much. And, you know, with the exhaust sticking out and the Duesenberg logo in the chrome, I thought I'd just leave these wheels on in the chrome, looking pretty nice. And I'm not going to bother tinting the window on this one because it does only have that little windshield, which doesn't really cover anything, as you can see if I take a seat. Oh, I suppose you asked looking through it, but there is no point tinting it because I wouldn't tint it that much at the front anyway. So, moving on, let's go get this engine rebuilt. Now, some of you are not going to be happy with this because I know how much some of you really hate painted engines, but I have gone with a colour-matched engine on this one today. I know some of you don't like it, but I like it, and it is how I would do this car. The other thing as well is I have put a performance clutch on it to go with the performance gearbox that will be going in it a little bit later on. So I'm going to build a bit more of this and I'll come back to you guys in a moment. Still on this engine, this colour is really nice. I like it and I think it matches the car really well. Well, I'm hoping it will when it goes in anyway. As regard to performance parts on this, I've only really done, obviously I've done the clutch there and I will do the gearbox. But the other things are the spark plugs. I've done the pistons and then I haven't even gone for the performance carburetors, just the normal ones. Mostly because I'm a little bit worried about the tyres holding it. But I have gone for the performance air filters. Just because I think they look a little better. Anyway, what do you guys think of the painted engine? I really do know some of you massively aren't fans of the painted engine. You would rather they were just left normal as they were. I'm a big fan of it. I really enjoy it. I'm going to drop it in the car in a few moments, and I hope you guys will like it inside the car. I hope. Anyway, let's move on to that. Let's get it off of this glorious engine stand. Let's get it dropped into the Duesenberg. I haven't got the crane ready again. Look at me. I'm getting bad at this, aren't I? Let's open that up. Let's move the crane over. Let's get it dropped in. Now, hopefully, I'm hoping you guys... Oh, that's the wrong button. I'm hoping you guys are going to think it looks pretty good inside the engine bay. Let's find out. See, me, personally, I really like that. Sort of body-coloured, not quite 100% matching. It lifts up there. It looks absolutely stunning. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You probably will hate it. I know most of you don't like painted engines that much. You like them pretty stock. I'm proud of how that one came out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below or using the like and dislike button. Hopefully you enjoy it. Next up, I'm going to get all the liquids topped up, all the underside of the car done, and then we'll be outside ready to get this one finished off. Here she is then, all finished, the Duesenberg Mormon Meteor, looking like a thing of beauty. I love this car. I don't like this rear license plate though, because it's decided that the text is going to be really dark. Maybe I will swap that out for a different black one that hopefully works a bit better. I think it did that on this as well. Yeah, it did that on this one as well. So maybe I'll swap these both out while I'm here and see what happens. Is there a plate on this one? Has that one done it? Yeah, that one's done it as well. So maybe just the black plates don't work. Maybe I'm just using the wrong one. I don't know. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Anyway, having a look around the little details of this car, the exhaust coming out of the engine there, even though it has got its own manifolds on it going to its own exhaust. Keep pressing the wrong button. Even though it's got its own manifolds, its own exhaust, it still looks incredible coming out through here. I wish I could just delete that exhaust and still have it 100% and just use that one. Shame that you can't. Maybe it's just a different model. Maybe I should delete that exhaust and put something else there instead. But something I think is absolutely stunning. I do also love the colour of the engine. Again, I know some of you probably dislike that. But this car is so beautiful. It's just absolutely stunning. I love an old school retro car. Tiniest seating position ever. But this car is was a land speed record holder back in the day. Let's see what this one sounds like. Hopefully I've put everything in. Yes, I have. Oh, that's got a nice rumble to it. And a good rev limiter. Oh, I do like the sound of that. That sounds quite nice. Happy with the sound of that. Let's get it onto the dyno and see what it can do. 179 at starting horsepower on this lovely Duesenberg. How much have we managed to squeeze out of it? We didn't put that many performance parts on it, so only the extra 38 horsepower. 22% though, so it's not too bad, bringing our total up to 217. I'm not sure whether that's going to be good or bad. This is a very old car running on some newer equipment, so let's put it on the track and see what the top speed is. Here we are then at the track. Let's go. Slow start. I've put it in very long gears for this car. Now, I'll be happy as long as I beat 264 kilometers an hour, which is the land speed record it set in 1936. And that was with an aircraft engine. I obviously don't have an aircraft engine in this. Have long gears, a short track. Let's see what we can get up to. There's 200 kilometers an hour. Just want to beat that glorious 264. Well, 265 technically. That's all we're aiming for. Come on, little Duesenberg. There it is. We smashed its original record. What can we top out at? It's actually doing all right. Come on. 322 kilometers an hour. I will definitely take that from this one-time land speed record breaking car. Here it is then for the very last time. The Duesenberg Mormon Meteor, one-time land speed record holding car. Not that I have broken any land speed records with it today, with its 322 kilometer hour top speed. Absolutely nothing special. Just nothing special at all really there. But it is a beautiful car. I do love it. I'm glad. I still haven't fixed that plate. I really should do that. I mean, I'm not. Do they all? I think they all just do it because I think these are a different one. What is this one? That's UK Retro A. What's on here? It is UK Retro A. So bear with me. I'm just going to try and swap this plate and see if I can get something that works. Well, I swapped it from the UK Retro A to just the Retro, and it seems to be alright. But I didn't swap this, and it has come back. So who knows? Maybe it's just the black plates don't work very well. Anyway, back to this car. I think it's a thing of beauty. I really do love it. I'm happy with how that engine turned out. Colour-wise, as well as maybe not the performance, but I'm happy with how it looks. I think it looks insane. It is such a cool car. I'm glad I had the chance to build one, and I can't wait to build the Salt Lake land speed record one, the other variant of this car. That one I'm going to put performance parts all over and try and smash an amazing top speed. But that is it for this one, so let's have a look at the facts and figures. Now, obviously, it has a load of kilometers on it already, and we did squeeze a tiny little bit more horsepower out of that engine with 21.75% tuning. But the real question is, how much is it worth? Was not prepared for that. 323,073 sale value. That is a lot of money. I did buy the car for 10,643, as you can see there, and the money I have spent today is 54,605, which is nothing in comparison. The total spend on the car is 65,248, including buying it, which puts our profit at an astonishing 257,825. That is $250,000 profit on the Duesenberg Mormon Meteor. I wonder if the other variant will be more. I am going to have to at some point find out, but it is time to say goodbye to the Duesenberg Mormon Meteor. It was a pleasure working with you, and it was definitely a pleasure profiting from you. Thank you so very much. I hope that license plate stays on there. Let's have a look what we've got next. That's right. This is the Delray Winchester, the standard edition with 304,000 kilometers. I picked it up at the barn. Did I get conned? Not quite. Absolutely not quite. I will take that. That is as good as it's going to get. But this is what we have for the next video. Let's just have a look at the engine options. We do have a couple of swap options. Currently, it's on the one cab overhead valve. Maybe we'll swap it. I like the mag engines because you can paint them really well. I know some of you guys don't like that. as I've mentioned once or twice before. But this is what we're going to be working on next time. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping I can find some cool liveries for this. I may have to jump into the Steam Workshop and see what I can find in there, see if there is anything cool. But this will be the next video. You have to tune in to see what we're going to do for that. That'll be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. UK time. You know the standard drill by now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you did like this video, don't forget to like and maybe even consider subscribing. And don't forget to comment down below and let me know what you think of my builds. Let me know how you think I could do better. And if you just think I'm rubbish, just tell me. I'd rather hear it rather than continue. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.